It's time for you to practice. The meaning of on and over. Let's start by defining the meaning of each preposition. On refers to the position of an object in contact with a surface, while over refers to the position of one object in relation to another without any contact. For example, if we say the book is on the table, it means that the book is in contact with the surface of the table. On the other hand, if we say the bird is flying over the house, it means that the bird is in the air above the house without any contact between them. Usage of on. Now let's dive deeper into the usage of on. We use on when an object is in contact with a surface. This can be a physical surface such as a table or a floor, or a more abstract surface such as a page in a book or a screen on a computer. For example, we say, the cup is on the table, when the cup is in contact with the surface of the table. Similarly, we say the picture is on the wall when the picture is in contact with the surface of the wall. However, it is important to note that on does not always imply complete coverage of the surface. For example, we say, there is a book on the table, even if the book is not covering the entire surface of the table. Usage of over. Moving on to the usage of over. We use this preposition when one object is positioned in relation to another without any contact between them. The object that is positioned higher or above the other object is said to be over the other object. For example, if we say the plane is flying over the city, it means that the plane is in the air above the city without any contact between them. Similarly, if we say the blanket is over the bed, it means that the blanket is positioned on top of the bed and covering the entire surface of the bed. It is important to note that when one object completely covers another object, we still use over instead of on. For example, if we say the lid is over the pot, it means that the lid is completely covering the opening of the pot. Therefore, when there is contact between the two objects, we say over when one object covers the other completely, and we say on when it does not cover it completely. Finally, on and over are two prepositions that have distinct meanings and usages. On is used when an object is in contact with a surface, while over is used when one object is positioned in relation to another without any contact. It is important to note that when one object completely covers another object, we still use over instead of on. Remember that the choice between on and over depends on the context and the relationship between the two objects being described. By keeping in mind the distinction between on and over, you can more accurately describe the position of objects in both written and spoken language.
Fill in the following with the correct phrase how far or how long. Dash, is it to the nearest hospital? 20 minutes by bus. Dash, does it take to walk there? About 10 minutes. Dash, can you keep food in the freezer? It depends, but usually months. Dash, is it to Mars? About 225 million kilometers. Dash, was Mark out sick? He was out for a week. Dash, have you two been dating? We've been dating since uni. Dash, can you jump? My record is 2 meters. Dash, can you hold your breath? 2 minutes. Dash, do you live from here? A 40-minute drive. Dash, have you been living in Canada? I've been here for nearly 50 years. Today, we'll show you how long, and how far differ in meaning and grammar. Differences in meaning. We use how long to ask about physical length. How long is used to ask about the length of things. How long is the rope? It's 3 meters long. How long is a marathon? Marathons are 26 miles long. We also use how long to ask about the length of time. How long is also used to ask about the length of time. How long is the train ride? An hour and a half. How long did you wait? Just 5 minutes. How long will you stay in Thailand? 5 days. We use how far to ask about distance. People use how far to ask about the distance. How far do you jog every morning? About 5 miles. How far can you kick a football? My record is 40 meters. You can reply to how far questions with the distance, or a piece of information that gives people an idea of the distance. How far are we from the nearest hospital? About 2 kilometers away, or a 10-minute drive away. How far is it to the peak of the mountain? We're just 500 meters away, or we're halfway there. Differences in grammar. Number 1, how far is it? You may have noticed that many how far questions start with, how far is it? Sometimes, the it refers to a place that was already mentioned. For example, if someone says, did you just come from school? How far is it from here? That it refers to your school. However, most of the time, the it is an empty it. How far is it to the nearest hospital? Which means, How far is the nearest hospital? How far is it from here to there, which means, what's the distance from here to there? In these questions, it doesn't refer to anything, and is only used for grammatical reasons. For example, how far from here to there would be grammatically incorrect, since the sentence doesn't have a subject. That's why native English speakers add an empty it. How far is it from here to there? Number 2. How long does it take? People also use how long with an empty it, but only when they're asking about the amount of time needed to do something. How long does it take to get to work every day? It takes about 30 minutes by train. How long did it take for you to run your marathon? It took me over 5 hours. The take here is the verb take time. So when you hear the phrase, how long does it take to? You know the person is asking about time, not distance.
Which is the British spelling? Center. Color. Realize. Tire. Labor. Which is the American spelling? Humored. Defense. Analyze. Dialogue. Traveler, which is the British word. Lift. petrol, which is the British word or phrase. Chips. Motorway. Trousers. What is the American word or phrase? Downtown. What is the American word? Roommate. Chips. Apartment. Honor. British and American vocabularies. Most words are exactly the same in American English and British English. However, there are some differences. Let's see some examples. French fries, chips, crisps, pants, trousers. Note that most words will be understood in either country. British and American spelling. Most words have the same spelling in American English and British English. However, there are many words where the spelling is different. Let's see some examples. Some words that end in ER in US English and in RE in UK English. For example, theater, theater. Some words that end in OR in US English and in OUR in UK English. For example, flavor, flavor. Some words that end in IZE in US English and in ISE in UK English. For example, civilize, civilize.